When King Von was tragically murdered in 2020, he didn't just leave behind a promising rap career, he also left behind a long list of criminal charges linking him to a number of deadly crimes. According to the highly controversial 4-hour documentary, King Von Raps for a Serial Killer, Von was linked to as many as 10 different murders, although fans of the late rapper quickly cried foul on several of those accusations. Today, we're taking a look at some of the more substantial claims against King Von, starting with a string of Chicago murders taking place in 2012. Von first got on the law enforcement's radar after he allegedly shot an STL EBT gang member named Modell along with his cousin Miles. Modell didn't survive the shooting, but Miles, who wasn't in the gang and was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, miraculously recovered. But being shot 5 times and placed in a medically induced coma for weeks took a toll and unfortunately left Miles paralyzed. The initial word on his tragedy was that Von's friend T. Roy was responsible for the shooting, but sometime in the future, a police report leaked indicating that they now believe Von was the triggerman. 2 years later, Von would once again get caught up in a murder investigation after...
Huh? That's what I'm saying. Like, it'd be crazy. Like, y'all just figured out all this shit after he died, though.
After he and his friend Big Mike allegedly shot and killed a college basketball player named Malcolm Stuckey at a birthday party. Initially, Big Mike snitched on Von and agreed to testify against him in exchange for a reduced sentence, but he later had a change of heart. It's unclear what prompted his decision, but after spending 3 years in jail awaiting trial with no one to testify against Von, the courts dropped his case and sentenced Big Mike to 28 years behind bars. Von's violent streak continued when he, alongside his friends J Money and T. Roy, allegedly shot and killed a man named P5 from the Jarrow City gang. But while Von was behind bars for the Malcolm Stuckey murder, a 14-year-old STL EBT gang member named Gakira Barnes, better known as K.I., a 14 continued when he, alongside his friends J Money and T. Roy, allegedly shot and killed a man named P5 from the Jarrow City gang. But while Von was behind bars for the Malcolm Stuckey murder, a 14-year-old STL EBT gang member named Gakira Barnes, better known as K.I., allegedly sought revenge for P5 and took J Money's life in retaliation. Up until that point, Von and K.I. had an interesting relationship to say the least. One minute they were flirting on social media, and the next they were making death threats. Because of their rival gang affiliations, they were already sworn enemies. But when she allegedly killed J Money, it wasn't long before Von allegedly took his revenge and killed her. Von was brought in for questioning after K.I.'s murder, and even though he gave a conflicting and somewhat suspicious statement, he wasn't prosecuted at the time. We now know that Von was in fact the lead suspect in the case, and that the cops were playing a longer game, attempting to prosecute Von for both this crime and the Stuckey murder. They believed, and probably rightly so, that if Von were already behind bars for one first-degree murder charge, more people might be willing to testify in the other case. But of course, Von was never officially charged with this crime, as he was killed before the investigation concluded. However, given the troubling way he reacted in the wake of Modell and P5's deaths when he was alive, it definitely paints a picture that he could have been involved in some capacity. Lastly, Von's
It's crazy how he was in jail fighting all that shit, and he was like in jail mostly his whole life, and then he got out of jail and just became like the biggest rapper in the rap game, and like within like months, and then like for like 2 years, like 2 years straight. Not like 2 years, it was like a year and a half, a year, because he was still a freshman. Bro.
Final alleged crime, which we know about anyway, occurred alongside his best friend Lil Durk in Atlanta in 2019. The two rappers were arrested for allegedly robbing and shooting a man named Alexander Weatherspoon outside of a cigar lounge. Police believe that Durk and Von knowingly robbed Weatherspoon because he had $30K in cash on him. But thankfully, Weatherspoon survived the incident after taking a gunshot to the leg.
Why would they rob? It'd be fluky shit like that, though. They probably did rob that nigga for $30K, because you'd be like... You would say, why would they rob a nigga for $30K? Don't they got more than $30K? Yeah. That nigga, they said that nigga, young boy robbed a nigga for, I think, $10K. And that nigga was supposed to pull up and do a feature or something. I think they said like 10 niggas jumped on that nigga when he got out the car. And they robbed that nigga, took out his shit, and they called the police and shit. I'm like, what? Motherfuckers do be doing fluky shit, though. So shit. The motherfucker that they robbed caught, hell yeah, they caught. No, not them. No, that was the nigga called the police. He made a video on and posted that shit. He was mad as hell.
Immediately,
he was supposed to pay for the feature and they just took his bread.
After learning of his arrest warrant, Lil Durk left his tour and turned himself in, knowing he was innocent and had nothing to hide. Fast forward to October 2022, and Durk became a free man. However, Von's case had not gone nearly as smoothly, and there's little doubt that the Atlanta DA would have dismissed Von's case, especially in light of his lengthy rap sheet.
Well, like, why do the unnecessary beef like that be happening? Like, that's be so dumb. Like, just be dumbass shit.
Like motherfuckers just be doing shit.
Like, motherfuckers could just be having a jolly ass time with their family alive. But no. It was the alive. Because, like, everybody be beefing for dumbass reasons, for real, for real. And then it just prolonged the whole thing.
Hell yeah. What they say, this shit ain't gonna never end. Sad case though. Wish it could, but they say it's too deep.
While we'll never know for sure just how many crimes Von was involved with and in what capacity, we know one thing for sure: if he were alive today, he'd likely be in a ton of legal trouble. Thanks for watching. Of course, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. And
Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Y'all think Durk snitched or what, man? Y'all think Durk was like, damn, this nigga been in jail his whole life. His ass probably don't give a fuck about going to jail. I ain't been to jail in a minute, boy. I got a whole life outside of here, boy. He said, well, I got hella kids, boy. I got bread waiting on me out there that I just made. I got hella shows lined up. You feel me? I don't know, though. You know, anything. But I'm just saying, though, I don't know, though. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing allegations out there. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this, though. If y'all fuck with the reaction, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell on the game. We gone.